What's going on, guys? Well, this is your boy Coach Solomon. Welcome to the best rappers of all time. I'm making this video to discuss what people talking about Eminem being the GOAT, the greatest of all time. And I'm going to tell you why he's not. Is Slim Shady the greatest of all time rappers? No, he's not. And I'm going to break it down, the reason why he's not, in this short video. Now, Eminem dropped his first album in 1999. So 1999 to 2018, somewhere like 18, 19 years, right? Now, let's say, for instance, kids who are 19 years old right now, and then say, for instance, if you go back maybe 4 or 5 years before 1999, for the kids who were born during that time, 5 years before 1999, 1994, these kids were probably still in diapers, still going in preschool, so on and so forth, not fully having a full appreciation for rap at that time. Possibility, maybe some of you have. So let's say 19 to 25, starting from Slim Shady's 1999 album, and maybe give 5 years additional, so 1994. So you can have kids today that are 25 years old, and in their life experience in hip-hop, they only know Eminem. And I'm going to tell you what Eminem comes from. So, is Eminem one of the greats of all time? Yes, he is one of the greats of all time. If you want to put him in the top 5, I'll give you that much. Would I put him in the top 3? No, I wouldn't put him in the top 3. Now, for you kids who are 20, 25, maybe pushing 8, I think it's very rare that you have guys that are above 25 to 30 to 35 to 40 calling Eminem the greatest of all time. And I'm going to tell you why. But you kids out there who only know Eminem, Eminem is different from all the other rappers. It's because he's a spitter. He's a rapper, but he's a spitter. The only thing he cares about is the rhyme. That's the reason why he's so nice. But of your generation, you guys that's 19, 25, so on and so forth, you guys don't have no spitters in your generation. The only spitter that you really know is Eminem. The young guys, they don't spit, they rap, and you guys are good rappers, so on and so forth, but you don't go to that next degree of being a spitter. And in your generation, that's all you know is Eminem. So, like I said, Eminem may be the greatest of your generation, but he is not the greatest of all time. And I'm going to tell you why. I'm 40 years old. I'm walking this earth just like you're walking this earth. If you're 20, 25, thinking that Eminem is the best rapper, think about this. During my lifetime of being 40 years old, I had the opportunity to witness the birth of the MCs that I'm about to tell you now, and I've had the opportunity to see their career. So I'm going to name off the list. Within my lifetime, in your short lifetime, you only seen Eminem. For my lifetime, 40 years, I'm going to tell you who I saw. I saw G.O.Y.T, Big Daddy Kane, KRS, Rakim, Nas, Biggie, Pac, Big L, Cannabis, Big Pun, AZ, Eminem. Eminem is of the generation where I came from, which is Nas, Biggie, Pac, Cannabis, Big Pun, AZ, so on and so forth. But you got to realize, my generation of MCs, even though G.O.A.T, Big Daddy Kane, KRS, Rakim, they were the greatest of their time. But if you are a true MC and you're honest with yourself, the degree of lyricism that existed with Nas, Biggie, so I'm talking about 92 or 91 to maybe 96, so on and so forth. Lyrically, that was the zenith of lyricism in hip hop, period. Like I said, I'm not shooting down G.O.A.T because G.O.A.T, Big Daddy Kane, KRS, Rakim gave birth to this elite form of lyricism that was in existence during the Nas, Biggie, Big L, Cannabis, Big Pun, AZ era. But at the same time, that era produced some of the, if you're looking at it from a pure lyricism point of view, during that age is when hip-hop produced the finest lyricism in hip-hop history, so on and so forth. The younger generation, unfortunately, they'll never get a chance to reach that level. They really don't care about it. They just want to do their own thing, and they're trying to hear people saying that we were the best lyrically, but in reality, the lyricism that existed during that time was better than even the G.O.A.T, KRS, Rakim age. You feel me? So, within my lifetime, I'm going to name the list off too. G.O.A.T, Big Daddy Kane, KRS-One, Rakim, Nas, Biggie, Pac, Big L, Cannabis, Big Pun, AZ, Eminem. Eminem was the one, and it's two rappers. Eminem was one of the last rappers from the zenith of lyricism era that still exists today. It's almost like he stepped in a time machine and went into the future of your generation, you young bucks. That's 20, 25, 28. Talking about that Eminem is the greatest of all time. From my standpoint, being 40 years old, experiencing the existence of all these rappers, Eminem is one of the greats, but he is not the GOAT. And Eminem, and I'm going to tell you this because I know a lot of you young bucks who call Eminem the GOAT, and I'm not even hating Eminem, but I refuse to allow this guy to just come in and just and talk about he the greatest of all time. No, negative. There's only one spitter that's in existence today, that's still living today, who is of the caliber of lyricism of Eminem. Do you know who this is? And he's remained, out of all these rappers, G.O.A.T, Big Daddy Kane, KRS-One, Rakim, Nas, Biggie, Pac, Big L, Cannabis, Big Pun, AZ, then Eminem was the last of this generation. But there's another MC that's out here today, and it really makes my head smoke that when you talk about the greatest of all time, you do not mention this man. There's another MC that's in existence today out of all those rappers that's still relevant and can drop an album and make some money. You know who it is? 3 letters. N-A-S. Nas. Nas came out with Illmatic in 1994, which was 5 years before the Slim Shady album. Nas has maintained the lyricism, or the level of lyricism that he came in the game with, and it's still on the same level. Based on my personal opinion, the lyricism that Eminem has now when he dropped that last album, as well as the one he dropped most recently, Eminem has not. He's nice compared to you guys, because you younger generation, y'all don't know lyrics. As a matter of fact, if you don't know about Nas, if you ain't never listened to Nas, Biggie, Pac, Big L, Cannabis, Big Pun, AZ, if you don't know about G.O.A.T, Big Daddy Kane, KRS, Rakim, dude, you're not qualified. You don't have the experience or the history or the knowledge to claim Eminem as being a GOAT if you don't know about these guys. If you never heard these guys and you don't listen to these guys and you never heard their record, Nas, Biggie, Pac, Big L, Cannabis, Big Pun, AZ, the people who call Eminem the GOAT, most of them are not qualified to classify anybody as being a GOAT, because the only thing you're going according to is who is the best rapper of your generation. The only one that's standing out of all these rappers is Nas. When you think about not only was Nas of the same caliber of lyricism as Eminem, he's been out just as long, dropped as many albums, still remaining relevant, so on and so forth. And another thing that I can add to the picture is that one of the things that has to be a part of a MC's arsenal is street credibility. Eminem, like I say, he didn't have street credibility when he came in. He was just a nice lyricist. He inherited the street credibility, or rather security, but he came in the game with no street credibility. I'm pretty sure he was known amongst the hip-hop crowd, so on and so forth, but that's the difference between that and having hood street credibility. And Eminem didn't have any street credibility, and he still doesn't. He has bodyguards. He knows a lot of people, and I'm pretty sure you don't want to mess with Eminem now. Don't get me wrong, I'm not hating on him, but he entered the game with no street credibility. And then on a scale of 1 to 10, when it came to Nas, you ever heard that story that was told by Snoop Dogg about when he was in New York with Tupac at the park, and Nas, this is the words coming out of Snoop's mouth from the West Coast. He said that when him and Pac rolled up on Nas was in the park with 100 killers, all strapped. So Nas came in the game with street credibility. You smell me? He came in the game with elite lyricism, just like Eminem did. If you were going to put Illmatic against this first Slim Shady album, you can, but I don't think that a Slim Shady album is going to reign supreme over Illmatic. You got to realize that Eminem, you young cats who don't know who Biggie, Pac, Big L, Cannabis, Big Pun, G.O.A.T, if you don't know about these guys, Eminem got his style from these rappers. And it's just a shame that in this generation of you young guys, you don't know that. You don't know your history, and you're just looking at this guy like he's a god, and he's not. Eminem, like I said, Eminem, maybe you could he's one of the greatest of all times. You can put him in the top 5, but I think it's an insult to hip-hop history for you to call this man the GOAT. He is not the GOAT. He does not qualify. There's one unchallenged, and there's one MC out there of the same caliber and lyricism as him, who has been out longer than him, whose first debut album was hotter than his, so on and so forth, and more significant to the hip-hop community, and is still relevant today. His name is Nas. He is still undefeated. His battles were legendary. Who did Eminem battle? Who did he test his steel with? His sword, his you know what I'm saying? His Uzi. Hold up. One of his first real battles is with Machine Gun MGK, Machine Gun Kelly. I ain't mad at the brother. You do what you got to do. He kept it 100 how he came with the diss track. But who has Eminem battled? Nas's battle has been in battles with Biggie and Pac, so on and so forth. He survived that East Coast West Coast beef. He went up against Jay. These are like legendary battles, and he's still here today, and he's undefeated. So like I said, if you guys are calling Eminem the GOAT, like I said, I'm not mad at you, but according to like the history and the numbers and the battle and the street credibility and whether or not he still has his flow and all that stuff and how many battles he had, he does not add up to Nas. I'm sorry. And if Nas went toe to toe with that man today, Nas would destroy him. Because when you look at him now, and this is another element too, is that during the time that Nas has been out, he has maintained his stamina, his mental stability. Eminem over there cracking up. So he falling into legendary status. And I'm gonna say this one thing about Eminem, and I ain't mad about this, but I don't have nothing to say about Eminem. But Eminem did something like Jay-Z did. Jay-Z was on top of the game, and he knew that he had to go back for Nas in order to claim the throne. Because Nas was one of those guys where he was the king of his day, and he assumed that Nas fell off. He knew the hood recognized what's the status of Nas. If you're on top of the world, why would you feel the need to go back for Nas? But he went back for Nas, and he got the surprise of his life, so on and so forth. And that's another thing. You can't be in the top 3 if you take an L. You can't be the GOAT if you took an L. And it look like this Machine Gun Kelly sound like, look, he about to take an L. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, Nas has maintained his mental stability, his stamina, and that's the one thing I would say about Eminem, which I don't like, is that this younger generation who have no experience of hip hop, who don't know about the Nas, Biggie, Pac, Big L, Cannabis, Big Pun, AZ. These are the spitters. These aren't rappers. These are spitters, elite levels of lyricism. They only know of Eminem. In their generation, there are no spitters. The only spitters that exist in this generation is Eminem. So he looks like a god in comparison to what he can do. But from my standpoint of being here and seeing all these rappers, Eminem is one of the elites, but he's not the GOAT, dog. Get your history right. Understand your history. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, back to the one thing that I don't appreciate about Eminem is because his generation is calling him the GOAT. And he comes out and he calls himself the god of rap. It's an ancient proverb that says pride comes before a crash. He knew good and well, because Eminem's like 45. So he about my age. I'm 40. So he from my generation. He know good as well. You can't claim that if Nas is still walking the earth. You are not the best rapper out, dog. You're not. There's another man out there. His name is Nas. You know what I'm saying? And I ain't trying to put Nas into nothing, but I'm keeping it 100. Y'all not just going to keep talking about the GOAT this and GOAT that and don't talk about no Nas. Nas is in the top 3 material. Even if you don't think he's the best, Nas is in the top 3 material. And in a top 3 scenario, Eminem is not. Eminem is in the top 5, but he is not top 3 greatest of all time. I'm sorry. And I don't like the fact how Eminem, this younger generation who don't know nothing, who don't know, they probably never even heard the album from these guys, so on and so forth, calling him the GOAT. Eminem, like, you know what? He know the truth about these MCs right here. He know Nas still out there, but he starts smelling himself because this young generation who don't know nothing about the history, so on and so forth, calling him the GOAT. So he riding that. You know what I'm saying? He's smelling good. He's smelling himself. But he made the same error that Jay-Z made. You know what I'm saying? He at the top of the world, but you know what? You can't claim that throne while Nas is still walking this earth, dog. Sorry. It's your boy Coach Solomon signing out. I normally don't even make videos like this. My channel ain't even about this, but I got tired of hearing this. I'm from Newark, New Jersey, Brick City, Vassar Ave, born and raised, Weekway section, 2nd and 6th. So yeah, I used to chill with and chill in Roseville, Mixed Breed, Hen Hon, you know what I'm saying? Ali Khan, you know what I'm saying? Dupree, you know what I'm saying? Randall, you know what I'm saying? From over there on Sly Street. I was on Field Place. But you know what? Like I said, you can't be out there calling Eminem the GOAT with Nas still walking. And Eminem not rapping, he ain't even spitting like he used to. He's unsteady. He didn't have his mental stability. As far as I'm concerned, Nas's career has been perfect. He's undefeated. He cannot claim that spot as the GOAT while Nas is still walking, especially with no battles underneath his belt, and Nas has legendary battles. Coach Solomon signing out.